Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. From wherever you're watching me from, this is Samongoro. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. My YouTube name is Samongoro. Now, a lot of people or those who are in a relationship, they have different mentality that love has only one language. They have it all wrong. Love has so many languages, and there is no love language or languages that is uniform to every relationship. And like I always say, love is so dynamic. Every relationship is different, unique, and dynamic. So there is no uniform love language that works across board in all given relationships. Every relationship is unique and different. Let me ask you, my brother, my sister, what kind of love language does your partner understand? If you are in a relationship, do you have a love language or languages? If you do, I salute you. I'm going to have to add you a few love languages. It's not only one love language. And especially if you are in a serious relationship, it is time you become unique and different and stand out in your relationship. You need to divine and understand your spouse or your partner in which language of love they understand or they communicate. We are all different and unique. We need to explore and understand and learn our spouses or our partners more than often. Being in a relationship, it is work by itself. And that work is a work that there is no retirement. You want to spice up your love once in a while. More than often, I will ask you to spice your love life daily. However, spicing your love or your relationship will not work if it's only one person working tirelessly to spice the relationship, or if it is one partner working tirelessly to make sure that everything in a relationship is working smoothly. As much as you work so hard to make and understand your partner, it has to be a two-way traffic. You cannot give and not receive. Otherwise, if you give and give, you will learn bankruptcy or you will learn empty. And the time when you are giving, it will tell you insufficient love language. So we need to work together as couples, or as partners, or as spouses to understand one another. Do you have a love language? Or do you have love languages that your spouse or your partner understands? It is not one love language that exists. There's so many. However, today, I will not talk or bring all of them. I'm going to give you a few that I know. I will narrow them to 5 love languages. And then from there, you work and understand your spouse and see what works for you and your spouse. What works in my family or in your relationship may not work in your relationship. So don't just copy and paste without bearing in mind that every relationship is different, dynamic, and unique. Every relationship is different. But the love language, you need to divine what your partner understands, what your partner can associate you with. I'm going to narrow them to 5. Number 1, words of affirmation. I'm going to explain them one by one. However, number one is words of affirmation. Your partner needs your affirmation. Number two, quality time. Every relationship, every marriage, you two need to spend quality time together. Most of you will misunderstand me. When I say quality time, many of you will mean to knacking. You cannot knack 24/7. You need to wake up, go to work. You need to look for money to pay for bills. Children have to go to school. And if you have no children, you will knack and desire children. Those children need life. Those children need to go to schools. They come with expenses. And that expense has to be met by their parents. So you cannot tell me that quality time is only knacking. Believe me, that's what teenagers and people early 20s believe in. However, there is more than knacking. You can't knack without eating, by the way. So quality time, I'm going to explain them. I've not started explaining them, but I want to give you a rough idea which I know many of you will misunderstand me and say, when I say quality time is bedtime. No. That is part of it, but spend quality time with your partner. Number three, physical touch. Every relationship needs what? A physical touch. Number four, acts of service. I want to explain them. Acts of service. Love language. Number five, receiving gifts. Since, let me now start explaining them one by one, what I mean. Since then, many individuals have been wanting to find out what is my love language. The truth is, your relationship, your marriage needs all of these, all of the above love languages in order to be fulfilled. Every relationship needs the above 5 love languages to feel satisfied, to feel fulfilled. Let me explain. Words of affirmation. I said number 1 was what? Words of affirmation. Your partner will need you to affirm to them. Your partner will want you to affirm to her or him. Love is kept alive by affirmations. It is why we say, I love you. That is reaffirming to your partner or your spouse or your girlfriend or fiancé that you still love them. And that's why we never stop saying, I love you. Why we respond well to compliments. And that's why in many times we respond well to compliments, no matter who we are or how old we are. You will never get tired in a relationship to give compliments or respond to compliments. Say, well done. You dressed well. No matter how old you are, we always respond to compliments. When there will be tough days, which they will be many, which are many, especially nowadays, everybody is going through something. We will need our partner to remind us we are great and we will make it. We want our partners to affirm to us, no matter how difficult the situation is, no matter how hard life gets, no matter how tough the journey gets. We need to be affirmed that we will get through it together. I will stand by you no matter what. Come rain, come sunshine, I will stand by you, and by God's grace, we will make it together. We will be through it together. We will go through it together. That is words of affirmation. We will go through it together. People who say, I don't need to be affirmed. There are a lot of people who say, oh, I don't need to be affirmed. I'm a strong man, I'm a strong woman. Most likely grew up without anyone appreciating them, and so have learned to numb up and not expect it. But love affirms. It is why during funerals, sadly, we pour out our hearts and affirm the ones we love when they are dead, yet we failed to do so when they are alive. You know, I've seen a lot of people pouring a lot of grief, a lot of appreciation to the dead, while when they are alive, we fail miserably to do the same. Affirm, words of affirmation. If someone has done something good to you, ladies and gentlemen, say thank you. If your wife cooks a good meal, say thank you, darling. If your husband pays all the bills, make sure that in his family, everybody is comfortable. Say, thank you, my husband. I appreciate you, my love. If you have a husband who cares about you all the time, who calls you time to time to check on you, someone who makes sure that your hair is done, your nails is done, someone who cares that the family is well dressed, say thank you when they are alive, so that they can know that you really appreciate them. That's what I mean by words of affirmation. Don't wait until they die. Then you write a foolscap, and you are so sad that you can't even read. You want somebody to read it for you. Ladies and gentlemen, the people that you are reading all that appreciation to, the wrong people. The person who is supposed to hear this is your partner, your spouse, when alive. Let us learn to appreciate one another while alive. Let us affirm, let us give words of affirmation to our significant other while they are alive, and they can say thank you. When they're dead, you can pour out your tears, you can say all nice, good stuff. However, they will not be there to stand and say, thank you, my wife, thank you, my husband. Life is for the living. Enjoy. Life has no rehearsal. That when you leave, you will come back again tomorrow and relive it. No. Ladies and gentlemen, words of affirmation is very important in any given relationship. If you want to appreciate your partner, your spouse, appreciate them while they are alive. And they can look at you in the eye and say, darling, well done. Thank you. When they do something good, when they work day and night to make sure that we have a roof over our head, let's appreciate them and say thank you. Those are words of affirmation. Time waits for no man. No matter how the situation gets, no matter how tough the tough gets, time will not stop and wait for you to get better, or to wait for things to get better in you and your relationship. No. Still in that difficult time, you need words of affirmation to your spouse or your partner. Number 2, I talked about quality time. No relationship can be sustained without quality time together. No relationship will stand the storms of life, There's challenges that comes with a relationship if you don't spend quality time together. It's through creating time and quality time that you create memories that will last forever. You do not get into a relationship or a marriage to be ignored and abandoned. You don't enter into a relationship or a marriage in order to be ignored and abandoned. No. Love, time is the point of being with someone. If you are not a priority to them and they don't make time for you, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in a relationship and your partner does not create time for you, you send a message, they ignore. You call them, they ignore. In short, they have abandoned you. They call you whenever they feel like, they text you whenever they feel like, and they come to see you whenever they feel like. In short, they create time whenever they feel like. When somebody cannot prioritize you and you are in a relationship, I do believe you need to relook your relationship. You need to reevaluate your marriage. Then I guess you are in a wrong relationship. People are busy. People are working so hard to make ends meet. However, don't forget to create time for one another. It can't be that it's a man who always creates time, but this woman has no time. No, the two of you have to sit down, talk, and figure out how to spend quality time together. It is memories that will be left behind after we have gone. Spend quality time, not tomorrow, not next year. Start now. Because we don't know how long we are here. You don't know when your time to leave will come. Nobody knows tomorrow. Nobody knows next hour. So create quality time with your spouse and make them a priority in your relationship. People who claim I am not big or quality time. People who claim I am not big on quality time most likely are used to doing life sorrow in the past and become used to it. There are people who have lived a miserable life before they got into a relationship or before they got married. They are people who were used to spend time alone. They never used to share family time with friends. They never used to spend time with anyone but them. So if you are in such a relationship, find a love language that you can speak to your partner and turn them around to appreciate spending time together with you. That is not something to throw your relationship under the bus. No. Talk to your partner. That's why I say understand your partner and find the love language that works for you and your significant other. Number 3, I talked about physical touch. You can't get into a relationship and escape being touched. There's no way you can get into a relationship and escape being touched. You cannot enter a relationship and say, I don't want to be touched. Touch is a must in a relationship. In marriage, you will sleep together. When you're married, you will sleep together. However, nowadays, you don't have to wait to be married to sleep together. When I was growing up, dating a lady, it would take you ages before you could bed that woman. But nowadays, you just start with hi. You say hi at 1 o'clock. At 2 o'clock, you are boyfriend and girlfriend. You are ready to knock it. However, that is not the tradition that I grew up knowing. Nowadays, women are so ready to be knocked at any given time. You don't need to be married. So you don't need to be married to even sleep together. However, sleeping together the whole night is something that was set aside, reserved for marriage, for married couples. So when you sleep together, expect to be touched. If you sleep together, expect what? To be touched. Make love. You'll make love. You cannot sleep with a man the whole night and you are the opposite sex and tell me you will not be touched. Believe me, you make love, you will hug. No one wants to be touched only when it is knocking time only, or touch me when you want to knock me, or when it is knocking agenda. Exercise touching one another even when there is no knocking. Hold your spouse's hand. Hold your girlfriend's hand once in a while. Touch them. Feel them. Not only to wait until the time of knocking. You need to practice touching one another. Touch is so powerful. But don't touch with an expectation of petting someone. Then that's a long love language idea. Most of the time, people who avoid touching in their marriage is because they are either rigid or struggle to be vulnerable. Those who resist touch and they're in marriage, ladies and gentlemen, it is because they are either rigid or they are struggling to be what? Vulnerable. Or perhaps grew up denied touch and so find it strange. Your skin was created to be touched. I met a guy recently. He is dating a girl. He was trying to hug the lady in public. The lady looked at the guy and said, "You know what, sweetheart? I love hugs. I love kisses, but not in public." So understand the love language of your partner. She told the guy politely, "Sweetheart, this can be done in more private place. This can be done in a private place." So for this girl to be hugged or kissed has to be what? Private. She needs a private place to do all of that. So understand the love language of your spouse. She told the guy, "I'm a Christian and I don't want to do things publicly that can be done in private. But I don't believe that kissing in public, there is kissing in public that is respectful. And there is the kissing in public that is or will come out as provoking the public. There are hugs, we can give hugs in public. Respectful hugs. And there are some hugs you give people in public that will come out as provocative. So understand your partner. And please, too much of something is dangerous. Hug your spouse or your partner publicly or kiss them in a respectful manner, bearing in mind that there are other people around. You are not alone. So whatever you do, do it in a very respectful manner. I said number 4, acts of service. Acts of what? Act of service. Acts of service. You cannot love someone and not do things for them to make their life easier and comfortable. There is no way you can be in a committed relationship or in a serious relationship or in marriage, and not to do something or some things to make your partner's life easier or comfortable. Unless you are a choker, you are after nyas alone. If you are not a choker, you are serious in a relationship, and you love someone, act of service is a must. There are some things that you'll be required to do for your partner to make them comfortable or to make their life easier or manageable. That's what I meant by acts of service. You cannot fully give yourself into a relationship and not enjoy it when your partner is thoughtful and looks out for your needs. We all have needs. I'm not saying that you can meet your spouse's needs entirely, but whatever you can, given your ability, you will try to meet your partner's needs, especially if you are married. Meeting needs of your spouse is a must. Unless you are too used to being independent, which discourages you from needing your partner. We all need one another. We all have needs. In one way or the other, we have to meet each other's needs, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I meant by acts of service. I cannot say that these are the needs that you will have to need for your partner. Like I said before, every relationship is different. And needs are different and unique from relationship to another. So acts of service is a must if you are in a relationship. A lot of you will tell me acts of service, conjugal rights. Conjugal rights is given to married couples. If you are single and your spouse is demanding conjugal rights, may you let them know that let them marry you so that they can enjoy that privilege. That's not what I mean by saying act of service. There are other things that you can do to your spouse other than knocking. Knocking is not the only act of service that you can render to your spouse or to your partner. There is more to that. Make sure that you meet and you give service, act of service to your spouse. And by the way, service to humanity is service to God. Imagine. When you are giving service to human beings, you are giving service to who? To God. So service to a relationship will not be left out. Love is doing life together. Serving each other. Serve your partner. And I don't mean that it's only women who can serve men. Men also once in a while serve your partner. Serving each other is so good. It's a good feeling in a relationship. If you have a partner who thinks about you, who is so thoughtful about you, who will even tell you, sweetheart, sit, let me do this for you. Sweetheart, let me bring you a cup of water. That's what I mean by service. Acts of service in a relationship. That is the love language that you need to define. It depends, will your partner understand that love language? If they don't, there's a nice way and a mature way that you can speak to them without degrading them or belittling them. There are some services. You start dating a girl, she lives in a single room. Don't put her down. No. Go there to a single room and tell my love, we need to upgrade. I need to upgrade you to a one bedroom. In a polite way. So acts of service in a relationship is a must. Number 5, but not least, I talked about receiving what? Talked about receiving gifts. As much as you receive gifts, you also have to learn a way of reciprocating. You need to find a way of giving back. In a relationship, if you want your relationship to go further or to grow stronger, when you receive a gift from your partner, please find a way to give it back. Not exactly that, however way the small amount it will be, but please practice giving back. Now I'm talking about receiving gifts. Unfortunately, we have equated gifts to only being a necklace or a bottle of expensive perfume or flowers. Gifts are more than this. Gifts are anything of the cost you give to one you love. Giving gifts once in a while, not every day, to someone you love is a love language that needs to be understood by people in a relationship or people in marriage. Paying for your spouse's school fees is a gift. Buying your partner a phone is also a gift. Fueling your spouse's car is also a gift. Getting a Manchester United branded t-shirt for your man is a gift. I'm not saying Manchester United is the only team. If your husband is a fan of football, getting him a chassis for the team that he cheers, that also is what? A gift. Buying your wife a laptop for her studies is also a gift. Buying your spouse a piece of land. If you buy your spouse a piece of land, that also can be a gift. It is just that people have different preferences of gifts. A gift well accorded to your partner's likes and needs. You need to know your partner's likes and needs. You can't tell me your partner needs food and you buy him shoes. Your partner needs rent and then you buy him a watch. Your partner needs to pay her electricity bill and then you buy her a necklace. So you need to divine what gift is more important and valuable now to your partner. You need to study and understand your partner. Don't just go buy anything. Make sure that you are in touch with your wife, with your partner, your spouse, with your fiancé to determine the kind of gift that will be appropriate at that particular moment. And I'm not saying you give a gift, the same gift, day in, day out. No. Spice it up. You change now and again, depending to the need and the likes of your partner. And that calls understanding your partner is key. All these 5 love languages are needed in your relationship or your marriage. Instead of picking one and dropping the others, purpose to express love through all of them above. Let your love speak in all of these 5 love languages. Let your love speak in all of these languages. And I have explained one by one. The love languages that I told you is not one. But people have it wrong thinking it's one. Words of affirmation, quality time together, physical touch, acts of service, and receiving gifts. You receive gifts according to your financial ability. I don't want you to take loans and buy a piece of land for your significant other. I don't mean you take loans, buy expensive jewel for your significant other. I'm not saying that you go borrow money to buy a gift for your significant other. No. You give gifts according to your financial ability, what you can afford. If you can afford a lollipop, buy. If you can afford tropical, that's what you can afford. If you can buy an orange as a gift to your partner, then that's what you can afford. Let it be. But again, usinunue gift ya matarau. Don't buy a gift just for the heck of it. Or don't just buy a gift ya matarau. You know, your partner or your wife understands how much money you make. Na usifanye masohea ya kununua tropical kila siku every evening, jioni ukikuja, you know. Sometimes buy something different. Buy chewing gum. And if you have a little coins, wrap it like a very expensive gift and give it to your partner. What love language does your partner understand? Which love language does your partner prefers? Don't just buy a gift anyhow. Be in touch. If you spend quality time with your spouse, ladies and gentlemen, you will understand her needs or his needs at that particular moment. So don't buy gifts that will be a waste to someone. Don't buy a gift that will not be beneficial to that person at that particular moment. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for subscribing to my YouTube channel. My YouTube name is Sam Ongoro. For those of you who have subscribed, please, thank you so very much. And those who are about to, may God bless you in a very special way. People are going through a lot. This is the most difficult time for everyone. People are going through a lot. Please don't bring your lot to my lots. If you're going through a lot, just bear with me and understand I'm also facing the same thing that you are facing. It might be in a different capacity, but we are all going through something. We are going through tough times, but in different levels, in different ways, in different manners. So all I can ask you, ladies and gentlemen, who are married in marriage, those in a relationship, let us be patient to one another. Let us be kind to one another. Like I told you before, love and kindness is the only language that the blind and the deaf can hear and see concurrently. If you're in a relationship, things are tough. However, tough time don't last, but tough people do. This is the time that we need one another. Words of affirmation is key right now. We need it. When your husband comes home without anything at the end of the day, please don't yell at him, don't shout at him. Just hug him, receive him warmly. Let him, sweetheart, today was unsuccessful, tomorrow is another day. And guess what? Tomorrow morning, all old things are washed away, they're gone. New things have been born. That's a new day that we need to face with new challenges, new tough times, new everything. Let us hold one another. Let us give hugs to one another. This is the time that we need each other more than ever. Let us find the language that we can speak to our significant other at this difficult time. You need to understand when your partner is going through tough time. Give them a kiss on the forehead and say, I love you. Affirm to them that no matter what they're going through, Kids are not going to school. People have no school fees. People have no rent. People have no food. People cannot meet their basic needs. And I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we need to stand by one another. We need to be stronger than ever before. This is the time we need one another. And this is the time that we say, two are better than one. We empower our spouses, not for anything or just to find something to do. We empower our partners that in case things are not working out in my side, she can stretch her hand out and lift me up. This is the time that we need to stretch our hands out to our partners, to our spouses. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. Till next time, and bye-bye.